In the 1940s, Isaac Asimov crafted the three laws of robotics. Here are the three laws of robotics for a recap. 80 years later, one might wonder if the three laws are still relevant. The advent of powerful GPUs in the 21st century has resulted in the recent boom of AI and machine learning, and we are now closer than ever to an intelligent robot. We are seeing the development of smarter and more human-like machines, and thus we might encounter new instances of ethical dilemmas that have never surfaced before. Hence, it is pertinent that the three laws be re-examined to see if they are sufficient today. Proponents might argue that the three laws still have their place in this world, albeit less explicitly expressed. The three laws are sufficient for simple robots that are unlikely to face ethical dilemmas. Back to Asimov. Asimov wrote the three laws for creators of machines to make sure that their robots refrain from harming humanity. There are robots today that have very simple tasks that are far from putting humans in harm's way, like autonomous cleaning vehicles in Changi Airport, or neighborhood police watch robots from the Singapore Police Force, or even your own household robotic vacuum cleaner. These robots are clearly subservient to humans, and they do very specialized tasks. Each robot is only programmed to do one type of task, and due to the menial nature of their tasks, they usually do not face any moral dilemma or situations that require ethical decision making. There's a clear division between who makes the ethical decisions and who merely assists. Namely, all the responsibilities of making ethical decisions still reside in humans. When robots with simple tasks go autonomous, it is sufficient to make sure that these robots do not harm any human life. It is also a good starting point for any creator to at least take human beings into consideration.
Now, let's move on to why we think Asimov's laws are irrelevant. One of the issues with the three laws is the definition of harm. It is easy to define harm in physical situations where a robot cannot physically injure a human. However, there are other types of harm which are quite hard to identify, such as emotional and psychological harm. For example, in AI-generated music, would an AI that generates depressing music count as constituting harm? What about Google's AI image labeling technology, where they mistakenly classify black humans as gorillas? Some of these situations are hard to define even for human beings. There are many situations in social contexts where one would inadvertently insult someone while trying to give advice. For example, advising someone to lose weight might be beneficial for the person. However, it might hurt them emotionally. Hence, the three laws are not specific enough on what is considered harmful and what is not. The second issue is the difficulty of defining robots. A robot is a machine capable of carrying out a complex series of actions automatically. However, in Isaac Asimov's three laws, there is no definition of a robot. Complexity is non-discrete. Thus, where do we draw the line where a machine can be considered a robot? In the film Zima Blue, the robot Zima Blue was at first just a swimming pool cleaner, and after many iterations, he slowly upgraded his parts and became more and more human, and even developed human-like intellect and self-awareness. It would then be difficult for us to define exactly which point in which Zima Blue would be considered a robot. Is a swimming pool cleaner that just goes round and round considered a robot, or is the human-like version considered a robot? If it is, when exactly during the upgrading process did he become a robot? There is also an inherent difficulty in telling apart the difference between explicitly programmed machines and robots. Explicitly programmed machines would fall under human laws rather than robotic laws. There is a huge variety of robots that are simply not present during Asimov times, such as vacuum cleaner robots, self-driving cars, and military robots. Many of these robots have elements of being both explicitly and implicitly programmed. For example, a military robot may be trained to recognize humans, but the action of killing people are still explicitly programmed and might fall under human laws. The other problem with the three laws is that it does not define what human or humanity is. The inevitable conflict is a prime example on why the three laws are not sufficient. In the inevitable conflict, the machine's goal was to optimize the economy. However, the machines misinterpreted and sacrificed some humans for the greater good of humanity. This follows the point where harm to human beings need to be explicitly stated. There are also some ethical problems that the three laws fail to identify. For example, between humans and humanity, which would it choose? Or would it simply choose inaction? I believe that for the three laws to be useful, they need to be explicitly defined.
In conclusion, the three laws are relevant but insufficient. As the world progresses, people come up with new technologies and uncover more ethical dilemmas. Some may not be as easily solved as by following the three laws. Although the three laws were crafted in a fictional world many years ago, they are still being actively referenced in the modern scientific community as a springboard to spark off more discussions regarding regulating automated machines. Just like how Mark Robert Anderson puts it, Asimov's laws are still mentioned as a template for guiding our development of robots. On the surface, it acts as a protection for humans on the receiving end of technology. At a deeper level, it carries many valuable lessons for future generations to develop ethical laws for machines in a way that is fair, dynamic, and complete. Around the world, discussions are going on about how to improve Asimov's laws, and the creation of robots are being guided as such. But perhaps the most important lesson is that we have to keep adapting the laws of robotics to new contexts in order to keep them relevant. If not, any law would slowly but gradually become obsolete.